Hello everyone, I'm Rahul and you're watching StudyIQ IAS. Will you opt for something that has got 99% of failure chance? Not even 99 but 99.9% of failure chance. And Sanjeev Sanyal has said this statement and he has also compared UPSC preparation with that of opium, which means students or aspirants are addicted to this thing. So before going further, just let me introduce Mr. Sanjeev Sanyal for you. He is a member of Economic Advisory Council and he is a historian. He has written few books and one of the books being, I think, The Land of Five Rivers, which I've read. That I found it very interesting. And today in this video with you all, I would be discussing this thing, what he meant, what he wanted to say, and whatever he has said, has it got any merit or not? So let's quickly get started. So to begin with, my dear friends, so this is what Sanjeev Sanyal compares UPSC preparation to, that of an addiction. The students are addicted to it. So here's the context. UPSC preparation is the opium, and what is the context due to which he is comparing this? He is saying that the failure rate is very high. It is 99.9%. This is what he has been saying. Now the next thing is, now he is questioning that if anything is having such a high rate of failure, is that a noble pursuit? As per him, this should not be pursued in itself in the very first place. Now next is, he talks also about the coaching and blames him for selling dreams, where he thinks that certain institutions or most of the institutions are selling dreams. Then he goes on to say that many aspirants become professional aspirants, which means that instead of qualifying the examination, preparing for this examination itself become a dream for them or a role for them. And it becomes an endless cycle where a student or aspirants are trapped for preparing for this examination. This is what he says. Now, in a way, given that there are 6 attempts, so in certain scenario, if you'll see, this theory holds true also, and also like there goes on a joke like UPSC preparation becomes a 5-year plan. So what he is saying certainly has got some merit, but just hold on, we'll come back to all these arguments later on. Let's see what more he has got to say. Now, his point is UPSC preparation, which is opted by not by the normal masses, but all those people, many of the aspirants or the students who opt for it, they are among the brightest minds of this country, and the brightest mind are chasing not a great goal as per him. And now the next thing is, when these students, when these bright minds come into these fields, what happens? It's a loss for another sector, another segment, because what and who could have contributed in a better way, they are devoiding or they are giving their ears into UPSC preparation. Now next point is, even those, firstly is complaining that that all the students, all those bright minds who are coming for preparing, they are wasting themselves. Then he later on goes to talk about those who get selected. And what about those who get selected? What is saying that they are not doing anything radically different. What they are doing is simply they are maintaining the day-to-day activity, which he calls as a mundane task, that they are doing a routine work. Now, he compares this with entrepreneurship, where as per him, there is more scope of making an impact, and the work is challenging. The scope of making an impact on the society in terms of work is much more than what a selected candidate gets to do with UPSC selection or when he becomes a bureaucrat. Now, he doesn't stop here. He goes on to say further that there is poverty of aspiration. Like with this dream, means students or the brightest mind who could have opted for something greater and better, they instead have settled for something like UPSC preparation. And interestingly, he compares and contrasts this preparation with CAT and CA student, where somewhere he feels that they are justified in their pursuit. For one reason, that a CA student, they come and give their all the best. They are very much sincere about becoming a CA, getting a livelihood over there. And for the CAT aspirants, that he thinks and he believes that he has not seen anyone putting this much of great length of their life just like the UPSC aspirants give for the UPSC preparation. Now, hence I believe like the students or the aspirants, they need to diversify their career goals. Now this is what all he has to say. Now let's come in vice versa. Now whatever he is saying, I'm not going to discard each and everything of that, and whatever he has said, I'm not going to accept it in entirety. Rather, I'm here to debate with you and discuss with you, and I'll want each and every one of you to just express your opinion, what he has said. I'm all ears. I'm ready for your comments. If there are any comments, please just let me know. And just, yes, like I always want each and every one of you, please make your attendance felt. Just let me know who all is here with me in the chat box. So just let me quickly read out the chats. If any one of you is having anything to say, I'll be more than happy to discuss that. So far, any comments from any one of you? Anything in particular which you want to say? Hello, hi, you can mention your regions, you can mention your places from where you belong. Okay, I'll be taking it up. You can keep on posting your comments. So, dear friends, 99.9% of failure chance. Should you opt for anything which is having such a high failure rate? I'm asking you this, and as per my observation, I'll say that each and every field where there is an outlier, where there is a successful person, he has to battle out this sort. Now, he's talking about entrepreneurship and everything. The failure rate of startup, the people who get success while being the founders and the co-founders, if it has to be equated, it will be exactly like this. Wherever an outlier is required in any field, let it be anything, let it be, Usain Bolt, when he wanted to become a, supreme athlete, he has battled against such odds. Virat Kohli, Sachin Tendulkar, what are they? What are these? They are the outliers. Anybody, for that matter, he is a member of the Economic Advisory Council of the Prime Minister. Now, who becomes a Prime Minister? What are the odds? 150 crore people. So what does that mean? That a person should stop daring to dream? I would say no. In fact, for that matter, if we keep for certain time this UPSC thing aside, any field, wherever you want to be successful, the odds will be always like this. So no matter UPSC or not, the odds for success in any field, if you want to have a life which is going to make an impact, if you want to live fullest to your competence, if you want to actualize for what God has made you, for what your inherent talent is, if you want to make a mark, no matter in whatever field you go, the success rate will be exactly like this, 0.1%. In fact, 0.1% is too much. What I'm getting here, it will be always lesser than that. But does that mean that one should give up on the dreams? I would say no, never. Pursuing your dream is a noble pursuit. If you think that this is something you're made up for, go ahead, give it a shot. It's just one life and you have to capitalize on it. Now the next thing is the payoff, which is talking about that there is this loss of, the next part. Next part, he is criticizing, like this point we discussed, like he is criticizing that of institutions selling dreams. See, I do not deny that there might be certain institutions, but giving a sweeping statement that everybody is like that, I would not agree that. For I know my team, our team, we are here to be the enablers, and this is something which we have felt within us, that we have to be the enablers for people who dare to dream, to let them realize their dream. So the very this thing that to pass on a sweeping statement, labeling everyone with the same color, I do not agree with it. Now next thing is, many aspirants become professional aspirants. Now this is where somewhere I would start getting angry with them to a certain extent. Because, when there is not right guidance, when there is no right, approach to the preparation, this certainly becomes this part. When and where an aspirant is not knowing that what he has to do, what approach he has to take, then certainly it becomes a 5-year plan, it becomes a 6-year plan, and what he's saying that they become professional, professional aspirants. But then this is not the problem. The problem is there can always be reforms at the level of UPSC where we can talk about age capping or limit capping. The next is the aspirants themselves can have an awareness that this is an examination, I have to give this much of time. This in itself does not discard that preparing for UPSC is not a noble pursuit, or that's something that should not be taken up. This is what I feel so. Do let me know your opinion and your comments. Now let's move to the next point. Now the brightest minds lose years in chasing UPSC. Now is this true? To a certain extent, yes. Because given that the success rate is not that great, there would be failures, and there would be failures who will be very bright mind. I mean, they would be coming from IITs, they would be coming from IIM, they might be coming from MNCs, having quit their job, they might have been very bright as a student in colleges. So this part is not denied. But do you know what? A person who is born to shine would shine at any place, regardless of whatever circumstances. If it's the internal character which is there. And one thing I know about UPSC preparation, I don't say like spread it across all your lifetime. But if these 2 years, if any aspirant is utilizing it well, he is using these 2 years to shaping up his cognition and his character. Let me tell you, after 2 years, you become a radically different product in the market. I mean, you would be an outstanding thing, because I have seen a well-qualified UPSC aspirant and also someone who has done his MBA. And this I'm saying not from theory, but from practical, what I have seen across MNCs, across the corporate sector, across, on the working field. A UPSC aspirant, due to the amount of knowledge, amount of expertise that he has, he is born to shine at any place. And also, the kind of base level this examination sets for the aspirants, it becomes a launch pad to do well in any segment and in any sector. Now next is a loss of innovation and skilled workforce in other fields. Now to this I have a counter. What innovation and what work field we are talking about? We have engineering colleges all over India, and just tell me when there comes a report which says that more than 3/4 of the engineers who are graduating from the colleges, they are not skilled enough to get employment in any company. Where is the chance to showcase the talent? When the report says that many people who are already employed working in company, they are not fit for their roles. Where is the part for the innovation? Where is the part for the innovation where, in 2014 and 2019 onwards, you start talking about Make in India, you talk about, Build in India. Where was the scope? This wasn't there. So I would not say that there exists a, utopian world where all these bright minds could go and actualize themselves. What is the scenario of a civil engineer in this country? A civil engineer, after studying civil engineering for 4 years, where does he go? Do you know? He goes into the IT company. And what work he does in the IT company, if I have to tell you, he fills Excel sheet over there. Just deny and discard if I'm saying it wrong. So I'm not denying that. These would be very good, useful fit. In any other field, they might be doing innovative work. But my question to Mr. Sanjeev Sanyal, you is, where is this work? The base of the argument itself is falsified. And hence I say UPSC itself is an innovative and is a noble field if any aspirant want to pursue it. Now next part where he talks about, he says, now let's say that the student or the aspirant has qualified. Now what next? He's going to do mundane job. Mr. Sanjeev Sanyal, you are yourself in ESC. Now this is up to you. What we are getting our bureaucrats to do, the brightest mind to do after they are qualifying one of the toughest examination in this country. Who has made such a system that where a person who has qualified such a big examination, he has to do mundane work? What he is doing is just passing on files from this table to that table. Who has made this protocol? Who has set up this SOP for the young aspirants, young bureaucrats who are coming into the system? Who transferred the honest bureaucrats from one place to another as a reward for their honesty? Rather, I should say, as a punishment for their honesty. The system itself is having the problem. It's not that the aspirants who are coming, they want to do the mundane job. There are cases where a bureaucrat has set up a road where a bureaucrat has, re-energized a certain village, where a bureaucrat has revolutionized a certain social segment. There have been ample cases. And who takes the bullet? Who fights from the terrorist or the, antisocial elements in the country? These are these bureaucrats only. So to say that they are doing mundane job is an oversimplification, I would rather say. Rather, they are people who are passionate about their job, who are passionate about their role, who want to bring a change. But at the same time, Mr. Sanyal, I would also admit that there are aspirants, or rather there are people who get into the system who are not intrinsically motivated to, do good for the country, do good for the society. But then it's not the problem of those aspirants. It's rather the problem of the selection committee, what we are selecting, why we are having such a selection process, where those who are passionate for serving the country, they are missing out. Now, the next point is contrast with entrepreneurship, art, research which might offer more impact. This I already debated. Are we really having such conductive field in a country where such bright minds can go and perform? Certainly not. So, rather, if somebody is passionate about UPSC, if somebody is passionate about doing a social service, if he wants to do it, the UPSC should be made that much conductive that such aspirants are able to make certain contribution. The government should be receptive enough. The government should have an enabling environment where such an aspirants and students can come and make an impact. Now, civil service is not always the path to serve the society. To this, I totally agree. Whatever is truth is truth. Whatever is true is true. There are multiple ways of serving the society, but what's the harm, Mr. Sanjeev Sanyal, if someone wants to serve the society via the roads of UPSC? He is also right. I do not deny your statement at this point of time, the statement that you are making. Civil services is not always the only medium for serving the society. Likewise, I just hope you would also agree, if someone feels that this is one of the medium to serve the society and serve the country, he is also right. You should not outrightly reject this. Now, next point is telling about poverty of aspiration, lack of intrinsic motivation, and need to explore diverse career growth. Now, see, to become a bureaucrat itself requires a brave heart to pursue that goal. So, when somebody is saying that there is poverty of aspiration, I do not agree with that. Now, one thing to which I can debate or talk about, it might be somebody just doing this examination out of peer pressure or someone just being forced from the family side, but such cases would be everywhere. I mean, a parent, a child belonging to engineering or, a family of engineers and doctors, he might be forced to pursue that career. So, such cases we can always discard, but let's talk about those people who are having this aspiration to serve the country and to serve the society. Mr. Sanyal, I would say this is a deep disrespect to such aspirants. Now, next is lack of motivation. Now, motivation could be different for different people. I mean, like you being a historian, you being somebody from the, you loves to write book. What might have been your motivation? If I say this to someone who is into tech, he'll say, what is writing books? What kind of role it is? So, we never know what intrinsically motivates someone. It might be the color of uniform motivating someone. It might be the privilege which this job is providing might be motivating someone intrinsically, or it might be the chance to create that impact might be motivating someone. Now, the next part is, he says aspirants need to explore diverse career goals. Now, again, coming to this point, Mr. Sanyal, here you are correct in certain ways, and I will not deny or discard this. Even I believe that given the changing circumstances, how things are evolving, how technology is coming into preparation, how this examination itself has changed over the year, there should be a plan B. I do not deny that. But this must not discourage anyone from giving a full-fledged attempt towards his goal. I mean, whatever is your goal, let it be UPSC, let it be becoming a, director, actor, musician, athlete, research fellow, anything. I mean, just give your best shot. However, given that we live in practicality and in reality, there's no harm in having a different career goal. And given that how much connected we are with technology these days, learning a new skill is not something that is very problematic. You can learn things at your fingertips via mobile. So now let's move to the next point. So certain points which Mr. Sanyal has said, many of which I have discarded, and on certain points I have believed, okay, you're right, but that itself does not, deny, or that should not become a base for discouraging someone from preparing for the UPSC preparation. Now, what would be my suggestion to the aspirants? So my suggestion to the UPSC aspirants would be, see, my dear friends, if you have a dream, go for it, chase it, go all out. But always remember, hope cannot be your policy. You must have a great plan to succeed. Next is, fail faster. Always remember this philosophy. Whatever is not working out for you, fail faster. Third is, set yourself a time limit. Like within this amount of time, I have to prepare, get selected or gets rejected. I won't move back. I won't see those things again. I'll move on with something next in life. The next thing about plan B or the career goal, after you have given the time sanction for yourself, you can definitely pursue another career field, another career goal. But believe me, having said all these things, if you are going to give good and great years of your life, let's say 2 years, 3 years, which I think is ample for getting selected or knowing that you won't be getting selected. After that, you will be having this much amount of knowledge within you, this much of confidence and conviction in you, that you might go in any field and be the rock star of that field. So, my dear friends, this was all from my side, which I was having to comment on this issue. What you feel on this issue, do let me know. If you have any opinion or counter opinion, you can let me know in the comments. Thanks a lot for joining me today. I'm happy to meet you all here. If you have any questions, you can quickly shoot them up. And if not, then this is the festive season. Enjoy well. And I'll see you again with some new topic, some great topic. I'll meet you again. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.